What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone, where we're going to talk about Giuntoli being under attack. And not even by the media, but by part of the fan base, I will call it. And it's not for the reasons anyone could have imagined, I don't know, 10 years ago, or like even 2-3 years ago. But it is. He's being attacked for having a clear plan. And it's not even agreeing with the plan, or the players he's trying to move out and trying to bring in. It's just the idea of how he potentially wants to move players out and which players he wants to move out. And Mckennie is a key piece in this entire story. But before we do that, as always, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about Mckennie causing Giuntoli headaches on and off the pitch. Okay, so we knew 2-3 months ago, maybe a year ago, depending on how you view things happening at the club lately, that the club needed clear out. The squad needed clear out, depending on how many players you did rate or did not rate, it needed a lot of work. I think we can all agree with that. And he is trying to do a lot with a limited budget and kind of a limited time, considering how many things he's willing or he's trying to change up, and that's basically the entire point of this video. He's being attacked for trying to move out Mckennie, and I will call what it is. And it's nothing against Americans, because most of the people who watch the channel are Americans. But it's not because he's American that he's trying to move out Mckennie. Was he a good player for us this season? He was one of our most consistent player, without a doubt. And I came on and I said it, but I've always said, even when he was consistent, I said, if you want to improve, it's not good enough. Nor are a lot of these players in the squad. Players who are trying to move out, players who are not going to play a lot if they remain. I said so many times that I appreciate what Mckennie did last season, but overall, me personally, when I watch football, he's a player I do not like to have starting in my team. Not now, not 5 years ago, not 5 years from now down the line. I don't like these type of players. Rabiot, same guy, same type. For me, that's not a player I enjoy watching, because I don't like these type of players, and two, I don't see a future, or I don't see them in the future doing anything better than what they're doing now, and that goes for Mckennie. What he's doing now is his limit. It's his max, and I don't like that max. It's a lot of effort, and that I appreciate it, but like pure football ability and whatever, it's not my cup of tea. And Giuntoli did nothing wrong. He offered Mckennie a contract. Mckennie deemed that not good enough, and that's fair. The club can offer Mckennie 3 million euros, and he's about 3 million euros, and the club is like, we appreciate what he did, but that's the limit. We're not going to go above that, because we don't think you're that type of player, or potentially could be that type of player, because you pay wages also if you hand out contract extensions for what you think a player could become, not just now, but just also in the future. And that's what Giuntoli did. He didn't say you're getting absolutely nothing. There's well-documented sources out there, good sources, that he offered Mckennie a deal, the wages, Mckennie didn't deem them enough, and that's fair. Okay, then Aston Villa popped up, and first off, the news was that Mckennie was very open to it, and he was willing to accept the destination, and then it was all about money. Also, he wanted a payout from the club. He wanted 5 million euros from Aston Villa. That's been confirmed by Nico Sierra, by Romano, by good sources, and again, he can ask 5. If he thinks he's worth 5 million euro a season, you should be demanding that. I personally will tell you, that's crazy. You can believe that, but clubs will look at you and will think you're crazy for demanding 5 million euros. That's just how I see it. So Giuntoli did nothing wrong. He just told Mckennie, fine, you don't want to renew your deal. That's fair if that's what you want to do, but that means you're out. The club owns nothing to any player, nor does a player own anything to the club. I said it many times. We hand out contracts, and the club should obey those contracts. They try to move you on. That's the business. Players try to force transfers. That's also the business. I get that, you know, and it works both ways. But he did nothing wrong, Giuntoli. He told them, you need to leave. You're not part of the plans. Kind of figure it out. That's what happens at a top club. Actually, at any club. That's just what it is. So I don't get the outrage. Because it's happening with Milik, with Keane, with all these players. They're all being told, get out. You're not good enough, or you're not part of the plan, you know, not saying not good enough, but you're not part of the plan. Chiesa, you know, you're not part of the plan. Chesney got a longer vacation. Replace him midsummer. Been a good servant to the club. Got no goodbye. Told Chesney, Di Gregorio's coming in. Take a longer vacation. Don't show up. Don't show up. And Chesney was like, fine. That's it. That's what it is. So I don't get the outrage with the Mckennie one, because he did what he had to do, Giuntoli. He told players, the club, do not think they can build on the future, who have contract situations hanging about, saying, okay, this is the situation. We don't want to pay you that amount of money that you're demanding, and we need to move on from this. And that's the only fair thing to do. And you can come in and say, oh, Miretti is good enough, and he was rubbish, and Locatelli was rubbish, and he was better. That's fair. I'm not even going to argue that, by the way. However, the club made their minds up. The club sat down with Motta, and Motta said, the players that you might think are not good enough, I believe are good enough. And the players you think are good enough, he thinks are not good enough, are not worth keeping in the squad, handing out big contracts. That's just what happened. It happens with Chiesa. It could happen with Vlahovic. You know, we don't know. But for some reason, he's being attacked for trying to move out a player. The club has tried to move out for 3 years almost, or 2 years, whatever, with different managements as well. Like, we tried to move out Mckennie, so nobody should be shocked that we are trying to move out Mckennie again. He's 1 year left on his deal. He didn't want to accept the contract. We don't want to offer more than that. Fine. That's it. And the club's like, you're not going to run out your contract right here. You need to leave, buddy. Figure it out. That's what the club is doing. And I don't see the outrage. I'm actually happy the club is operating like this. And again, even if I wake up tomorrow and they do not like Vlahovic and they want to move him out and they tell him, you need to leave, find a contract, find a team, you don't show up in training, basically, like you're not part of it, you know, don't really get involved right here, then that's just what it is, you know. I'm not saying exclude them from the club facilities, because that's crazy, that's insane, but Huijsen got left at home because he's part of ongoing contract talks. I don't see Huijsen crying. I don't see Huijsen coming out, or fans coming out saying, hey, he deserves to train. That's just what it is. They told him, you're not part of the club. It actually makes no sense to go training with the group on training camp when we know you're on the move. And if the outrage is so much for a player like Mckennie, then I'm sorry, you have not been around for the club many times. We moved out players who are far, far better. Like, much better. And we forced some of them out as well. I'm not going to go into the details in this video, but think about it. We forced better players out of the club. No matter what the circumstances was, that's what we did. So I don't get the outrage from Mckennie. I don't think it's fair towards Giuntoli, because it's not his player. He didn't buy him. Motta didn't buy him, and they want to start over. So it is what it is. But let me know in the comments what you think. Again, nothing against American followers, but it's mostly American fans who are not Juve fans who are calling out Giuntoli for trying to move out Mckennie, which is kind of weird because, sorry, if you haven't followed the club for years, I don't think your opinion is valid on this case. But let me know in the comments what you think. Like the video, subscribe, and I will speak to you guys later tonight. Ciao.